In this foil, you can see the terms that define the Sysplex capabilities. Dynamic workload balancing. For example, in a KICS environment, transactions coming into the Sysplex for processing can be routed to any system. KICS uses a component of ZOS called Workload Manager, along with Sysplex to dynamically route KICS transactions. For this to happen in the Sysplex, you need symmetry. The systems you want to automatically balance the workload must have access to the same data and have the same applications that are necessary to run the workload. Data sharing. An important resource for systems to share is data, either in the form of a database or data sets. Symmetry through systems sharing the same database facilitates dynamically workload balancing and availability. The coupling facility technology in the Sysplex provides the data sharing capability. Incremental growth. Rather than adding capacity in large resource amounts, most of which might remain idle, you can add small resource amounts closer to the size you need at the moment. With a Sysplex, because of symmetry and dynamic workload balancing, you can add a system to your Sysplex without having to break down the entire Sysplex, and without having to manually rebalance your workload to include the new system. Availability. One of the primary goals of a Sysplex is continuous availability. You can think of availability from these perspectives: the availability of your applications and the availability of your data. With symmetry and dynamic workload balancing, you will find your applications can remain continuously available across changes. Adding a system, changing a system, or losing a system should have little or no impact on overall availability. With symmetry and data sharing, using the coupling facility, you will also have enhanced database availability. Automation. Automation plays a key role in availability. Typically, automation routines are responsible for bringing up applications, and if something goes wrong, automation handles the application restart. A facility of ZOS called Automation Restart Management provides restart capability for failsafe system, components, and applications. Automatic restart management plays an important part in the availability of key ZOS components and subsystems, which in turn affects the availability of data. For example, when a subsystem such as KICS, IMS, or DB2 fails, it might be holding resources such as logs that prevent other applications from accessing the data they need. Automatic restart management quickly restarts the failed subsystem. The subsystem can then resume processing and release the resources, making data available once again to other applications. Single system image. The complex, comprised of all the system and coupling facilities, is seen as only one system from outside the Sysplex. The Workload Manager component of ZOS provides a simplified, easy-to-use method of managing work within a Sysplex. WLM determines system activity, system workload, and actual performance versus performance goals across the system. Work is managed based on policy goals, and feedback is provided based on results versus these goals. It is the workload manager's responsibility to monitor and dynamically tune the application across the multiple ZOS images to obtain the objectives defined for the application workload. All participating ZOS images in a parallel Sysplex must inform each other through the coupling facility about their current workload and their ability to accept new work. The Workload Manager allows an installation to express the goals for managing work in terms that are commonly used by the installation when defining the service level agreements with its customers. The goals for work are defined to the workload manager in a policy that has Sysplex-wide scope. The workload manager uses the information in the policy along with current status information to attempt to balance the workload across the Sysplex resources. The installation defines the performance goals based on their business needs and current performance. This explicit definition of workloads and goals is called the service definition. The service definition applies to all types of work, including KICS, IMS, DB2, TSO, JES.